Hi there, welcome to Get Indie Gaming. Today we're looking at 5 indie games for May that might have passed you by when they first came to market. We've got platform puzzlers, a dreamy fairy tale adventure, something that only comes in monochrome, and more besides. With all that said, let's go straight into this month's top 5. Any puzzle platformer fans out there would be well served checking out Sumo Man, which makes up this month's number 5. Launched towards the end of March, our protagonist is a cumbersome looking sumo wrestler who's returned from a tournament to his home island to find his fellow islanders have been enchanted to an eternal sleep. Quite naturally, our hero has taken it upon himself to find the source of the spell and to awaken his sleeping friends. With gorgeous audio and visuals alongside a broad and varied range of physical puzzles, the game's central character is most unlike those usually found in these types of titles. Some reviewers have commented on how clumsy and awkward it feels in controlling our sumo hero, but that's missing one of the unique points here. As the saying goes, many sumo wrestlers cannot turn on a 9p or dime, so it only feels right and justified to have that type of element of awkwardness applied to the game. Sumo Man is lots of fun to play alone, and a split-screen mode is a welcome addition to play with a buddy. This one's a little unexpected gem and well worth picking up on the PC. With Pavilion, we have an isometric, exploratory experience about guidance, influence, and subliminal control. Looking somewhat Monument Valley, it takes a similar Escher-like approach to isometric level and art design, with staircases, bridges, and movable platforms aplenty. On the gameplay side of things, Pavilion is about encouraging a character to move through the world by interacting with it via pushing and pulling them across the screen. If you manipulate them correctly, you can get them to open up passageways, find objects, or have them step on pressure plates to aid their advancement. Essentially, we have a lock and key type of game where each progression produces a new door to puzzle your way through. Truthfully speaking, the puzzles featured within Pavilion are not overly complex, so die-hard fans of the genre, well, they may feel somewhat disappointed. However, from a personal perspective, I've enjoyed coming back to the game since its launch date last year and feel a connection with its art stylings and audio. With a second part DLC coming out sometime this year, this one's available for the PC and PlayStation 4. Only recently released, and one I missed prior to recording my top indie games for May, Ovio offers a puzzle platformer that's as much interactive art as it is a game. While modest looking with a black and white colour palette, the created imagery is far from simple. It focuses on images and symbols without much in the way of traditional text. Neither does it really explain or show how the player should play or interpret what's going on. This pushes you to experiment, which in turn unlocks more of the game's story and play zones. Overall, I found the game's design and soundtrack a mildly calming experience. Sure, the difficulty ratchets up towards the end, although not to the point past frustration where I wanted to walk away. Duration-wise, it's on the money. It's long enough at about 2 and a bit hours to feel worthwhile, while not spilling over to the point where things felt laboured. While it may look and at times play simple, there's a vast depth to it that's given me a genuinely positive experience. Now knowing the design, gameplay, quirks and level intricacies, with too much detailing on this here being difficult due to spoilers, this one has out-and-out replayability, and I'll be coming back to again and again. Out there for iOS, Euclidean Lands takes the runner-up slot for May and features a tiny, spear-wielding warrior that's placed on top of floating, subtly coloured 3D levels. Its roots are in board games and puzzlers, which makes for an intuitive experience from the start. Like in Hitman Go, the warrior can move one space at a time. What makes the game, however, unique is how you control the world. Just like a Rubik's Cube, you twist and turn rows of blocks with your fingertips. It's a turn-based offering, and while the levels begin simply enough, they morph towards the later stages into large and complex structures that require acute observations to solve. Finding a way to the exit can be challenging enough, but throw in enemies that attack you, and even boss battles where they can also rotate the world around you, could see players easily overwhelmed. The key here is to slow down, to contemplate, follow the patterns, and when ready, make your move. With 40 levels spread across 5 chapters, there's several hours of gameplay and plenty of things to see and do. It's definitely the kind of puzzler you'll want to take your time over. This one's exceptionally well judged and well worthy of your time to explore. This month's number 1 from the husband and wife team at Brain & Brain, Burly Men at Sea came out for the PC and mobile back in late September of last year. It's best described as an interactive fairy tale with an art style that puts you in mind of a children's picture book. The game's branching storylines are based on various Scandinavian mythologies, and it's the way these storylines develop and the way you interact with them that makes Burly Men at Sea a real treat. Each playthrough consists of 4 encounters, the first always being the same. The bearded adventurers find themselves in a spot of bother. From there, players are able to perform a number of different interactions that set you off on a variety of journeys. Along the way, the 3 encounter such things as huge whales, living mountains, mermaids, and even a slightly mawkish death himself. The writing here, however, is the real winner. It's uplifting, pointed, charming, and at times extremely funny. Also, the method of controlling the game via only the mouse has you solving puzzles via clicking, dragging, and holding, which is intuitive, relaxing, and a perfect fit for the gameplay. Throw in some clever vocal audio touches with a sublime and melodic soundtrack, the pastel colours, gorgeous but simple visuals, and adorable narrative. Burly Men at Sea is a wonderful adventure that will stay with me for a long time to come. And so, with Burly Men at Sea taking this month's number 1 slot for games that you might have missed first time around, that's pretty much all we've got time for here today. Many thanks for popping by, and as I always politely ask, if you've liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button and maybe even think about subscribing to the channel. Please come back soon for more videos, and until next time, thanks for watching.